Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more buckshot testing. And right off the bat, I do apologize if you can hear the random background noise. I don't know what's going on, but somebody a few farms over is grinding away or something. So I do apologize for that, but we've got another really interesting test out here today that I'm really looking forward to seeing how it does. So for the shell I've got out here today, I brought out some of the Remington buckshot loads. These are the 2 3/4 inch 9 pellet double aught buck loads going about 1325. And if you have not seen these, we have tested these once before in my 1187 and they did shockingly well. And they do have some kind of a wad in here which we did not expect. It's definitely not any kind of flight control wad, but whatever it is seemed to really make these loads perform well. So after seeing the previous test, I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can actually help this setup, because it's not been a fantastic setup so far for buckshot anyway. And that setup we've brought out here today is my Mossberg 835 Ulti-Mag here. And I have this choke in the gun, which is the stock full choke, which is typically what I run buckshot through most of the time. And it's what I ran these Remington loads through out of my 1187, and they performed really well. So I figured we'll start here with the full choke and see what kind of results we can get. Now that 835, if you've been following along with some of the buckshot tests, has not really done super amazing with buckshot, surprisingly enough. So I have some decently high hopes that these might be able to be a good performing load through that setup. But we just got to test it and see. But as for the test, everything's going to be done the same as usual. I have a big sheet of paper down at 40 yards. I also have the chronograph, so we'll see what kind of speed we're running and how close it is to the box posted velocity. So we'll head up to the chrono and take our shot and look at what kind of speed we have. And then we'll go down range and look and see how they patterned. And I do also have a few templates out here as well, so we can lay them over the pattern to get kind of a little bit more of a reference point on how well it actually did. So let's head up here to the chronograph and take this shot and just see what this combination does for us. Okay, so that round gave us 1249 through the chrono. So what is that, 76 feet per second under what the box was claiming? The box was saying 1325 and we didn't see that. But we do have a shorter barrel on that 835 than we did on my 1187, so odds are they probably tested it through a longer field length barrel. So this is not out of the ordinary. I mean, 1250 is right in what I would call about average for a buckshot load like this. So nothing out of the ordinary here, just a little bit lower than the box claim. But how did they actually perform downrange? Let's go check it out and see. Alright, so now we're downrange here at our 40-yard paper, and this is what it looks like here. Now this paper is 36 inches wide by roughly about 36 inches tall, and that white spray paint mark was my point of aim. So we had multiple right around my point of aim there. The rest strung a little bit high, but overall here, not too bad looking. It's not as good as what my 1187 did with it, but it might be one of, if not the best buckshot loads that we have tested through that 835. And I did measure the overall spread of that pattern, and from that top left hole up there all the way over to this far right hole was our farthest point across, and that was right at 20.5 inches of spread. I think it was about 18 in my 1187, so a little bit larger spread, but still not bad. After seeing some of the patterns that we've gotten out of that 835, I don't have many complaints about this at all. But let's actually grab some templates real quick and throw them up here and just see what it might look like in some different scenarios. Let's start with our 10-inch and our 30-inch circles real quick and see what our pattern density actually kind of looks like here. Okay, so now we're looking at our 10-inch circle real quick, and as we can see, we have 4 pellets within that. 3 pellets seems to be about average across the board, so 4 is definitely pretty decent in my opinion anyway. 4 pellets of double-aught buck within a 10-inch circle like that, I mean, whether it be on a person or an animal, that's absolutely going to do the job for you. So not too bad there. And after seeing this, I don't even think I'm going to bother with the 30-inch circle. I mean, we can just kind of imagine here what it looks like. I mean, if we have a 20-inch spread there, everything within that's going to be within a 30-inch circle. So I don't even think we need to necessarily look at that. But how would it have done in a hunting scenario if you would have taken this shot on a deer or a hog or something like that? Let's throw the deer template up and see what it looks like. Alright, so now we have our deer template up here, and as you can see, we have a front leg down there, and his neck just starts on the right edge of that template right there. And if we line our point of aim up right here, we have 6 pellets that hit this deer that are within the template anyway. We do have one more that would have hit the neck area that's hiding right over here behind the edge of that template. So call it probably 7 pellets that would have hit this deer. But either way, the 6 that we have within that template right there are absolutely enough to take this deer down. There's no doubt about it. So with that being said, how would it have done on a pig for you guys in the South that might have taken this shot on a hog? I think it's going to be pretty much the same story, but we'll throw the template up here real quick just to see what it looks like. Alright, here's our hog template, and it's pretty much the same story. On this one, if we line our point of aim up with right about kind of where we would want it to be, that gave us 8 pellets that actually hit this hog. But as we can see, multiple right down in the vital area again, and several more right along the spine, and one in the neck up there. So absolutely a dead hog, there's no doubt about that at all. And overall, definitely not too bad of a performance here. This shot would have gotten the job done for pretty much anything you could have asked for it within 40 yards. There's no doubt about that. Okay, and here's the wad out of those shells, and initially not anything too notable to see here. I mean, we can definitely see where it just started to squeeze a little bit against the choke right there, but no rips or tears. Everything looks good. There's nothing stuck down in there. Now these wads do have these like raised rib portions on the petals to maybe, you know, firm them up or make them a little bit stronger for the bigger buckshot pellets. I don't know, but either way, this wad definitely seems to be doing something to help our pattern. There's no doubt about it. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance right there? Definitely, it's not quite as good as what it did in my 1187, but I mean, for that pattern right there, it's not bad at all. That would absolutely do the job on anything you could ever want it to do, really. So overall here, I think it's a pretty decent combination. But as usual, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Do you like how that performed? Have you tested these loads? And if you have tested them with that new kind of wad that's in them, what has been your results? And what kind of setups are you using to get them? Let me know all that down in the comments. And if you guys might want to see this load tested through another choke or something like that, let me know as well, and we'll see what we can do. But with that being said, I've got several more tests to film, so stay tuned. We do have an Instagram as well as a channel mailbox now where you can send stuff to test out. I'll leave all that information in the description if you're interested in it. But with that being said, I'm going to get back to the testing, so I'll see y'all in the next one.